guys, and welcome back to another episode. So first of all, excuse the ridiculous hair. We'll blame Chris Patton for that one. We got together on Zoom the other night and had way too many beers and decided that it'd be funny to bleach our hair. So yeah, that's how that came about. So tonight I'm just going to show you a few little odds and sods that I'm playing around with, aside from the actual main engine transplant. So there's a few little bits on the running gear side of things, and then there's a few bits that will obviously help the new engine. So first up is gear linkage. So we mentioned on the last episode that the EP3 had the dash mounted gear linkage, or as the American and the Honda fanboys call them, shifters. So this is a K-tuned shifter. So it looks like something out of Transformers, I know, but they've got quite a reputation for being pretty good. Cables here out of a DC5 Integra. Cables actually just run inside the car. You don't have to bother putting them underside like a normal linkage like you do on a ZR. And it also means that because it's flexible, you got somewhat of forgiveness, you know, in terms of how you kind of route it. Yeah, should be fairly straightforward. So in terms of mounting it to the tunnel, you can get these pretty cool base plates. So I've got a base plate with it, and I think the Honda guys, they actually put it down onto the tunnel. I think they've already got holes already there in the Civics, but basically you put the base plate down first, and then you put the actual shifter backs on top of these. It's all very gimmicky. I don't really understand why they need these little locating things, but you know what the American Honda lads are like. They love that shit. So yeah, that's how it goes together on the Hondas. But I'm thinking on the ZR, because it's still got a full interior in the car, I don't really want to be welding on the inside of the car. I'm thinking I might just mount this on the underside. I've already had it inside the tunnel and it fits nice. Might just need a slight bit of persuasion with a hammer here and there. Mount it all on the underside. Put this obviously from the top side and just screw straight down into it. So at least it means you've got a nice big anchor at the bottom of the tunnel. Next up is the pedal box. So I started doing a bit of a video about this and started going way too long-winded with it, but in short, I was originally going to modify the original pedal box to suit hydraulic clutch, and then I wanted to fit a like a bias arrangement. So you use a 2-cylinder arrangement with a balance bar in the middle. So it just means that you can actually set it up with an adjuster on the dash. So you can actually set your bias up between your front and your back cylinders. So you get bias adjustment actually from the pedal box. Obviously gets rid of all the servo. So that was the original plan. People do it to the standard arrangement, but I thought for engineering time and you know how effective it'll actually be once you've farted on with it, I'd look at something else. So looking at something else led to this. So you've got a Tilton firewall mounted adjustable pedal box. So this is way beyond how I ever wanted to do it. It's by no means a money no object build, but as I said before, I think by the time you sink a lot of time into trying to make the standard one work how you want it to, you may as well just go out and get something like this. So there's lots of cheaper alternatives about, but I've heard bad things about them, you know, flexing and buckling. So Tilton I'd say they're well up there, like the AP Racing. So this is obviously your balance parts talking about. So your 3 cylinders to mount on the inside here. Obviously clutch, front and rear. So cylinders are here. 0.625 for the clutch, 0.7 for the front, and 0.75 for the backs. With the pedal box, we've got bias adjuster, so that'll mount on the dash somewhere, and then one of the little 3-in-1 reservoir kits, so that'll mount on the bulkhead somewhere. Started to make a plate up for the bulkhead for the new pedal box. Rear end, I've had a spare beam kicking around for a bit. I was asking on the rally forum recently advice on strengthening. Some people do it, some people don't. I've put some strengthening plates on the inside. You can see up there. And just braced on the inside leg. Other additions is you'll notice that these plates aren't standard, so they're to actually suit the Super 1600 hubs. So the plan is with this car to change it to 4x108 so it matches the rally car. So it just basically means that I can have one set of wheels for both cars. Plus it means I've got fully built up spare hubs, you know, for both cars. So basically the rear hubs fit on like this. So this is the actual hub part. That's a complete one there, which just needs a new bearing. So I got new bearings for them all. That's the actual spare from the rally car, which we had a bearing failure on. These are just spacers, so there's lots of different versions of the spacers. So that's 10mm, and then that's 25, I believe. And these are the actual ones that you use on the rally car, which is 50mm. So I haven't done all of the calculations, which are on there. Probably left with something that's ever so slightly wider than standard ZR track, but I have got the spare plates there so you can mess around with them a little bit. So the strengthening plates are something that not everybody uses. General theory is that if you have a sizable whack on one of the wheels, you want the beam to give first. Obviously, if it doesn't give first, it's going to send the shock somewhere else, which is through the car. So yeah, consensus not to strengthen the beams, but then other people swear by it. This is just going to be used for light track use, certainly to start with anyway. So I'm not too worried. The next episode we'll be going through the engine mounts and just taking a look at drive shafts and how it's sitting in the engine bay, and possibly getting the pedal box in. So there you go. So yeah, I'll have that together for you shortly. Cheers guys.